What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon Kindle and Create Space. Link could be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link that also they asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thank you everybody for supporting. But this video is entitled Tired of Doing the Impossible for the Ungrateful. Family's in town. Family was in town. And my aunt wanted me to watch this movie, Roman J. Israel Esquire, Denzel Washington, the lawyer flick. And part of the movie, he was kind of a guy in the background. He was always a guy in the background. And he did things that people needed to be done, wanted other people to do, but he was socially awkward, so it made it uncomfortable for some people. People wanted the help, but they didn't necessarily want the fight that came with the help, and he was down for the fight. But along the way, he made a comment when he hit a point where he wanted to get his just due out of life, and he says, I'm tired of doing the impossible for the ungrateful. And I think this is how a lot of human beings feel in today's society, where people don't understand. I'll take that back. They play dumb as if they don't understand the cost that goes along with doing the right thing, and doing the right thing for people for the right reasons. And everybody wants a hero or somebody to come through for them and have their back, and to be the voice for the voiceless, to be the hero for the unheard. But in that group of people, there are a lot of ingrates, or quote unquote ungrateful people. So you get a society where you have a certain demographic of people who are tired. Nobody is gonna fight for them. They have no hero. There is no voice speaking for the people who are speaking for the voiceless, and a hero to the powerless, right? There is no hero to them. There is no voice for them. The people don't stand up for them when the job is done and say, hey, we're gonna rally around this person because they did the impossible for us. Doesn't work like that. Not in this society. Most people are selfish and greedy and self-serving and self-centered. So even, on this channel and in the manosphere and in the black manosphere, Negro manosphere, these type of conversations have come up ad nauseum. This is why we tell brothers, do for yourself. Like, have standards and expectations. Like, put yourself first, because everybody wants a particular group of guys to do the impossible for everybody else, without acknowledging the fact that they're ungrateful. And that's a hard road to take, even when you're doing the right things for the right reasons, and you're giving your blood, sweat, and tears to the good fight, as far as doing what's good, right, necessary, godly, just, however you want to see it, right? You're going to get tired. And people have become so greedy to the fact that you get entitled to the fact that people will come to your rescue. So, and I was having this conversation with my aunt last night about family business. And, the topic came up, two topics came up that are involved with this topic. One is, you can't keep forgiving people who continuously do the same thing. If somebody's a liar, and they've been a liar, and they've proven themselves to be a liar, and that's who they are, there is no forgiving them and starting fresh, because they're gonna be a liar tomorrow. If they've, they say good people can do bad things, and you can do bad things and not be a bad person, and both of those are true. But if you have a history of doing bad things, that makes you a bad person, and that's not the type of person who can ask for forgiveness or a fresh start or a carte blanche or a reset button, because the history shows that they're just going to be back to their same bag of tricks in the coming future. So they want the impossible while being ungrateful. This is why we have a religious doctrine of heaven and hell. Everybody doesn't get a pass. You have to pay for your transgressions, right? And this goes into what I'm talking about. Some people never want to pay for their transgressions. They just want to pass the buck to somebody else that can pay for them. And we live in this culture where everybody, not anymore, but people want to be in a power position. If they used to, I want to be a boss. That was the older phrase. They wanted to be a boss. But CEO, in charge. But with great power comes great responsibility, and people want great power without great responsibility. So once again, you want the impossible while you're ungrateful, because how could you want the throne without the weight of the crown? How does that work? You don't want the throne then. You want to be a figurehead. You want to be a face of something, but you actually don't want to be that in totality. So this is the issue. And the other thing we talked about was acceptance. Like everybody, she was like, in society we have to accept people. Everything is, we need to be more socially acceptable. And I was like, well, here's the thing. We can't be accepting of everybody on site, because just because you may be well versed in a type of behavior, and doesn't mean the whole world knows what you have an expertise in. So if they see somebody, like when you see me coming, you can see my color, you can see my gender, you can see my height, you can see my weight. You know what I'm saying? You can see my build, right? But you can't see my idiosyncrasies. That's something you're not going to see on site. So if a person is judging me, they're judging me from preconceived notions from my color, height, weight, build, so on and so forth. But if I have autism, you wouldn't see that from me walking per se. If I don't have a extreme case, I'll just be socially awkward. There are a bunch of socially awkward people who look like who operate as if they're autistic, and they're not. And there are a bunch of people who are artistic. When you start getting closer to them, you say, oh, I get it. Same things when a person's having a bad day. You're not going to see that per se walking up as you pass in public. When you begin interacting with a person, you say, oh, okay, this person's having a rough day, or this is who this person is, or, you know what I'm saying, something's off about them, or they took something, or they own something. You come to find that out with closer interaction. And this is part of, being tired of doing the impossible for the ungrateful, because people are assuming because you are a certain way, or you're accustomed to a certain way, that the world around you is going to bend to what you are when you are that. And that's not the case. What it is people have to figure out what's going on. We've got our heads so far up our behinds in the society, and we're so egotistical and delusional that we think everybody in the world is supposed to know what we're going through it, because we're walking on the planet with them, and they don't have their own life going on at the time that we just happen to cross their path. which is untrue, which is completely ridiculous and asinine. And this is why people get tired of doing the impossible for the ungrateful, because people forget that, you're not the only one. It's not always just about you. And it's never going to always be just about you. You get what I'm saying? And like I said earlier, the people that you want to do this heavy lifting, there's nobody there to lift the heavy load for them. Peace.